Today I will cover very important subjects, speaking about Sitecore events, and we're gonna focus on SUGs, Sitecore User Groups, Symposiums, SUGCONs, and Hackathons. So speaking about Sitecore events, that's a very important part of what we can do as MVPs, and we will focus today on those four, I would say the most important four events. There are more, but we're gonna focus on those four that you see here. So we will start with the Sitecore User Groups. Sitecore User Groups are actually initiatives from the community, from individuals in the community who join together and decide to start up a geographically localized group. Okay, so user groups, Sitecore user groups are very tied to the place where they are. So you have Sitecore user group Brazil, you have Sitecore user group East Atlantic Canada, you have Sitecore user group Ecuador, and now places in the world, always located where the person is geographically localized and where that community is. As I mentioned, Sitecore user groups are very community originated, meaning that usually it's a number of individuals who goes there and wants to start something, and that's what they do. And also because of that, the subjects, the whole thing around this user group is also targeting, the community itself. So the biggest hint that I want to give you folks is, if you want to get involved, if you want to know more, you want to identify who the organizers are, and then you speak to them. If you don't know, if you want to target any user group in your location, you can try to identify who the organizer is. Usually the pages that they promote will give that information, but if you don't know, you can try to reach out to other individuals in the community as well, and I'm more than glad to help. Some of the opportunities that we can collect from MVP, for our MVP in user groups, I would say those are very important ones. Becoming a founder or a co-founder of a user group is very important. Will be very important for you, for your reputation as a user group, as an MVP. One very important participation that you have if you start a user group, that will be a big one. You can organize or be a co-organizer. You can organize, meaning that you can spend your time organizing one edition, and that's one way that people do as well. Even if it's not the user group that you started yourself, you can still help, the founders to organize that user group. Obviously, becoming a speaker, in one of those user groups will be very important for you, for your MVP. Individually might not be very significant because you have multiple user groups all around the world. But at the same time, I believe one very important way to practice your new presentation or anything you're doing is to, presenting this presentation in the Sitecore user groups available in the community. So by doing that, you have the chance to see how the community is going to react to your presentation and potentially improve that as well. So that's, I would say, a very important resource for you, especially if you want to become a speaker. That will be very important. Supporter, you might not be the founder or the organizer or even a speaker, but you still can support. You can help to promote the thing on the social networks. You can help to support people by taking pictures, taking shots, and speaking about their presentation, and giving support itself, as the name suggests. Or as attendee, you being in a Sitecore user group, becoming present in that place, those spaces will be important for you, as your reputation will be, tied to your participation. But remember what I spoke about last session. Just participation itself, just attending, it's not enough. So if you want to really take advantage of participating attendance, I suggest that you do some spin-ups. You can still go there and participate, and then speak about that, make a blog post about that, reverberate on the social networks, and everything else. So if you do those things, that will be very interesting for your participation. Here is a list that I would like to provide you, this URL. It is a Reddit community-based wiki, where you see the list of all user groups in the world. You see there's hundreds of them, and having hundreds around the world, you definitely will have hundreds of editions a year. That's why my suggestion is you have to engage to the ones that are closest to you. Like if you are in India, watch out for the ones in India, but also engage the other ones in the community as well. Keep an eye on the social networks. Like here, you have an example of a tweet by Jason Sensor, where he is speaking about, he's promoting his presentation in the next Baltics meetup that happened in December 8th. So, there will be multiple announcements like this in the social networks every week, So if you keep an eye on the social networks, you will understand and be informed about the next events, and that's I would say the easiest way to keep involved and get informed when the next user group is going to happen. All right, so I decided to dedicate a slide here to speak about starting and organizing a Sitecore user group. If you want to do so, here are a few advices that I'd like to bring you. First and foremost, check for existing user groups. Check in your location if there is any other group that exists, in the same geographical location as you, because it's also valid to collaborate to user groups that are already existing. You don't necessarily need to start your own user group to collaborate with existing groups. So what I mean, maybe you find out that there is a user group in your location or close to your location, and then you reach out to them and they're not very active. You can help them by offering your help to organize 1 or 2 editions. Why not? I see a lot of people, I know a lot of cases where the organizer is not being active because he's out of time. He doesn't have the proper time to dedicate to that. So if you extend your hand to help an existing user group, I'm sure that you can collect good results out of that. But also you can start your own user group, okay? And as a first step as you create your first user group, as first steps, you're gonna create your Sitecore user group identity and presence, online presence, right? So you need a name, you need a logo, and you can do that yourself or ask for other people to help you. Having a name is usually a user group is SUG, SUG something. Usually, other user groups decided to have different names, but like in Brazil, we have SUG BR, SUGBR, which is Sitecore User Group Brazil. So you can follow the same standards, or you can create your own name, fancy name. Just the only suggestion I give you is make sure that your name somehow reflects the place you live, the geographical location where you are. Create your meetup page. It can be a meetup.com or community.com. Meetup.com is now not free anymore. Community.com is still free. Make sure to create your Twitter profile or other social network profile, your YouTube channel, because it's, I would say, the most important part of a user group is the legacy content that you generate. So if you don't share those things in YouTube channel, then the rest of the community will not be able to take advantage of that knowledge. So make sure you have a YouTube channel. That's a very important advice I can give. What will be your model? Will that be a virtual, in person, or both? Right? If you decide to go virtual, it's not very different than recording a video, like we mentioned a few editions back. But if you decide to go in person, you will have to take care of other things, like here, just a summary, a proper venue, a place that has room enough for the audience that you're going to receive. You might want to put together and arrange some food and beverages, because people are gonna, that will be an attractive for them to be there. You're gonna exchange information and also have some snacks. Why not? Find a sponsor. Find speakers. Here's the part that you must have a backlog. You can start simple, like a Google Forms or Office 365 forms, or SurveyMonkey, anything like that, where you can collect information about people who wants to attend, who wants to speak, like a call for papers. And don't forget to promote that using all channels that you created before. The meetup page, the Twitter profile, the YouTube channel, and all that. Make sure you keep all those things reverberating. After the SUGs, I will speak about SUGCONs. Okay, SUGCONs are Sitecore User Group Conferences. Here is the URL you see on screen. So basically, it's a conference, an annual conference that happens to get together all the user groups in the world. And the thing here is to join the community. It's a community event to make everybody in the same place, to bring developers, to developer community together, providing the platform to gain knowledge and get inspiration. So that's the mission of the user group, SUGCON, which is get developer community together, gain knowledge and get inspiration. There are multiple editions every year. Speaking in a SUGCON is very important. So I would say that's probably the second most important event in the community, in the Sitecore community. So speaking in this event will be very important for your MVP. So because of that, watch out for the call for papers. All right, real quick about symposiums. Okay, folks, the Sitecore Symposium is the biggest Sitecore event in the year. Okay, that's so huge. There are multiple announcements. The most important announcements about the platform are normally made in this event. Okay, they usually have amazing speakers. Just for you to have a notion, we had Bozoma Sanchon, which is the CMO from Netflix, a big one, and Joe Legend, the artist and activist. So those two guys were there sharing their experience, which is very, very valuable. But also, there are thousands and thousands of attendees every year. So that's amazing for your networking. One very important thing in Sitecore Symposium is the partner pavilion has lots of booths. Becoming an MVP, folks, will highly increase your chances to attend for free one Sitecore Symposium, because exposing, showing up the MVPs for the rest of the community and for the rest of the clients is a very strong marketing, tool. And that's why partners will ship their MVPs to the Sitecore Symposiums. Also, speaking in a Sitecore Symposium gives you lots of relevance. That's the biggest event in the year, like I mentioned. Speaking in this event will be highly, incredibly important for you because of all those things. Keep an eye, stay informed. The next symposium will be in person. Cross your fingers, because it will be a 3 days long event where as a participant it's man, if you happen to go to one Sitecore Symposium, you will notice how powerful that is, because of the community, because of the networking that you do, because of all the announcements and all the important sessions that you learn as hell. So that's why I encourage you doing so. And the last event, Sitecore event I would like to speak today, and I would like to encourage you all to participate, is the Sitecore Hackathon. It's an annual contest, that happens since 2014. There are multiple categories to pick from. You can choose from the category that you most like. It's impossible to tell what will be the next categories, because every year they choose a different one. But every category will have a winning team. So, you can have multiple winning teams every year. In a total of 24 hours, you have to produce during this participation, an installation package with the Sitecore module that you implemented. We have to check in, of course, everything to Git, documentation with the installation instructions and usage instructions, and also a 10 minutes video, maximum 10 minutes video, explaining what the module is, So that's what you have to produce in 24 hours, and trust me, that's very hard. But at the same time, very fun. And the benefits of participating in the hackathon, I will name here. First of all, your name will be recognized. You'll be participating in networking itself. You're going to meet new Sitecore developers and new Sitecore professionals. You will have the sense of community and experience. Very important, you have a new module ready for the Sitecore market. So by participating 24 hours, in the end, you have a module. Remember, we spoke about that. Having a module in Sitecore is very important for your MVP.